We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
I left my girl back home. I don't love her no more, and she'll never fucking know that. These fucking eyes that I'm staring at. Let me see that ass. Look at all this cash, and I've emptied out my cards too. Now I'm fucking leaning on that. Bring your love, baby, I can bring my shame. Bring the drugs, baby, I can bring my pain. I got my heart right here. I got my scars right here. Bring the cups, baby, I can bring the drink. Bring your body, baby, I can bring your fate. That's my motherfucking world too. Just let me motherfucking love you. Even though you don't love me, just tell me you love me. Even though you don't love me. So tell me you love me only for tonight, only for tonight. Even though you don't love me.
Passionate intensity. It's a complicated fusion. We are catapulted towards death. The mystique I adore is the beating heart of those who share my life. This is their legacy in obscene glances, laced in silver.
afternoon. At the tone, time will be real time.
Hey, what the fuck's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Tonight we have Bryce, and we have his friend. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Carly.
Carly, you don't have to say your last name. We'll keep it hush-hush. But Carly is awesome. She actually has, from what I've heard at least, that she said, she has family that is, well, let me say, our topic tonight is about murders, serial killers, dead bodies. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting discussion, but the main point of it is death, I guess it sounds like. And not necessarily afterlife, but just
Stuff.
Just crazy, and the psychology kind of behind it. It's going to be an interesting thing. And, you know, again, none of us are experts here in any of these topics. So if we say something, don't take it as 100% factual, because I guarantee we don't have all the facts down about these serial killers correctly. But we know enough to at least have a conversation, and that's the whole point. So anyways, commercials, go to coverandvinyl.com, check it out, use the promo code podcast, you'll get 20% off of your purchase there. Again, coverandvinyl.com. Second one, download the Lyft app, type in the payment code CHST228 and get a free $25 ride on your first Lyft. And let's just jump the fuck into this thing. Bryce, it's glad. I'm glad.
You're glad?
To fucking have you back. And here's the deal. Bryce is going to be pretty much a new co-host. This show will not just be mine, I guess. It's going to be both of ours as long as he continues to show and we're doing this thing. Bryce and I will be running this fucking thing to the ground. I'm sure.
Well, hopefully not in the ground.
Yeah, well, hopefully we get off and we go do some cool stuff and we get some awesome guests. But tonight is an interesting topic. So, Carly, correct?
Yes.
Carly has family. Does it run in the family? Who was the first to... mortician. Is that what they're called?
Right. Yep.
So her family are the Why aren't you a mortician?
Well,
that's my first question.
I've considered going to school for it, but I haven't.
So there's a school for going. What does that consist? What does it cost to go to school to be a mortician? That's what I want to know.
Thousands of dollars.
Really?
A few thousand, yeah.
But it's not as bad as like a full degree of college, you would think. No. Like like a semester.
It's probably more than a few thousand, right? Maybe. No.
It depends where you go to school. Online is cheaper than going to.
You could do an online. How would you learn to do? So, what is a mortician? Is that the person who has to do the autopsies and cut bodies and things? I mean,
no.
Okay.
That's a coroner that does autopsies. Yeah.
They embalm the bodies, so they prepare them for the funerals and put the embalming fluid in there, drain the blood.
Well, how do you drain the blood of a human being? It's not like you just slit it.
They have to drain the blood.
Like how do you drain the blood of someone? Is it like a certain vein and then you suck it out, or is it just how do you do it?
You do insert it in the veins and then it sucks the blood out.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
I
guess blood does run through the whole body, so that makes a lot of sense. Embalming, same thing. You just put it back in and then fill it, I guess.
There's a lot to embalming. I could talk forever about it, but it's hard for me to talk about it because I was so young when my grandpa owned the mortuary, so I didn't get to see a lot of that happen.
Okay, but wait, what does embalming do? Like
it preserves the bodies for those X amount of days during like the viewing, the things like that, and a little after, I guess. It's If you don't do it, that's when it starts to rot and get nasty and stuff like that. Now, do you want to? Okay, so here's a question I have. I guess, what do you want to happen to you when you die? I guess. Do you care? Or do you want to be?
I want to be cremated, but after my funeral viewing.
You want to have a viewing and then just
I want a viewing and then I want them to burn me.
Any reason why? I do too. But do you have a reason why you would like to be cremated?
Not necessarily. I just don't like the idea of my body rotting.
Sure.
In the ground.
No, that makes a lot of sense, I guess. Yeah. So your family. Do you still have any family? You said your grandfather owned a mortuary, right?
Yeah.
Now, what's in a mortuary? Because I know, I used to deliver flowers to this guy. Well, to a lot of mortuaries. But this main guy in Alpine, his name is Warneski, I think. But it was always the creepiest one. Because they lived downstairs. So did he live in the funeral home, I guess.
Yeah, actually, it was upstairs. There was an upstairs house, and downstairs was the mortuary. There was a chapel where they held funerals.
Interesting.
And the office, so they lived upstairs.
I could not do that, dude. There is no freaking way.
So how did he become... I mean, what made him have you ever talked to him about that? Your grandfather, like how he became that? What made him decide to... I mean, let's be honest here. There is a lot of money in that business. Mm-hmm. It's the funerals, the caskets, the embalming, the X, Y, and Z. You can make a lot of money doing what a lot of people don't want to do. And so if he'll do it. Now, I always in the back of my mind, I've always thought as funeral people or people who enjoyed that stuff, I almost thought sometimes like that those people were, I don't know, like murderous type people, and there was a way for them to take it out was just, I can hack up this body because no one cares type thing. But obviously that's not fully true, but there has to be a different psychology behind someone that can just be fine with dead bodies.
I don't know, like this is kind of, I don't know, not really personal, but I guess, but like when my mom passed away, when we got ready for her funeral, like we had a family friend, his name was Gary. He owned a mortuary, and he was one that, you know, got my mom ready for her funeral and all that stuff. And like I helped him like put my mom in her casket and stuff, like lift her off the table and shit, like after we dressed her and stuff. I mean, and it really wasn't that weird for me. Like, and he like the way he handled it and stuff, it was just like
normal,
another day at work, like, you know. And I mean, he was like really like obviously professional, but like the way, I don't know, it was just like, I guess he's like a family friend, so like I knew him, but he wasn't like weird, you know, like creepy. And it was just like, and honestly, like me putting my mom in her casket and stuff, like it wasn't really that weird for me. So I mean,
do you think that, you know? Okay, so here's another thing: is like you've been to funerals and stuff, and you see family come up and kiss the body sometimes, or hug the body and things like that. And again, as an outside viewer, not being necessarily related to that person, even knowing that person, it's still. It's odd. I don't want to say it's weird, but it's weird to view from the outside point. Now, I've never lost my mom or my dad or anyone, but seeing that would be different because I had such a relationship with that person. It wouldn't feel as weird, I guess, doing that. Does that make sense? Like now, if it was a totally related person compared to someone I'm just at a funeral for. Seeing other people do it in my head, I'm like, that's it's just, you know, death's such a weird thing. It's never talked about.
I don't know.
So.
I think it depends on the person too, because I mean, I've lost a few people, so it's like, I think it depends on the person how they want to deal with it as well. I mean, like if it helps them touching their hand or kissing them on the forehead, you know, whatever. Me personally, I don't really like doing it because it's just weird.
Sure,
but
that's
you know, like my best friend, I was in a car accident with in 2006. He got killed, and in the car accident, he was really. You know, I was the only one that was conscious throughout the whole thing, and I remember seeing him and stuff, and it was pretty... I guess if anybody's ever seen the movie Final Destination, it was shit like that. Like, it was bad. It was fucking terrible. So, before...
Would you say you became numb after a certain situation like that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That your certain senses, or that... You know, like, okay, so watching videos online, you can really watch the most disgusting... I don't know what you want to call them, fucked up videos of people, you know, beheadings and this weird shit. After watching some of those, you almost become numb to certain things. And it's not, I'm not going to say it's good. It's not a good thing, but it's almost your psychology type of, like, this wall gets put up for you to kind of, like, protect yourself from a certain barrier.
And like, with his funeral, that's why I'm saying, like, you know, everybody's different because the way I seen him in that car, I mean, I'm not going to say, you know, how he was, but it was not good. And... You know, they kept talking, as you know, parents kept talking like, oh, you know, he looks so good, like they fixed him like really well and stuff, and like I was like, I want to see him, and they're just like, okay, and I'm like, I want to see him, like I don't want to remember him in the car, well, he still doesn't look like, you know, Colton. Well, I still want to see him, and so I seen him, and it was not good at all, but I still remember him better than I did when he was in the car. I mean, people were like, well, I don't understand. Well. You're not me, so I mean that, and it helped me just knowing that, you know, they were able to fix him up a little bit. So, but I mean, I don't know. I think it just depends on the person as well. So, but I mean, yeah, as far as being numb to that kind of stuff, I think, you know, I mean, as far as you know, I lost him in that car accident. 4 months later, my mom passed away. So I mean, I was still kind of numb from the whole, you know, the car accident thing. So I mean, yeah, stuff like that. I mean, I think it makes you numb, but I mean, it's all just kind of how people want to deal with it as far as touching the body or whatever. I don't like doing it. It's just weird. Like
sure.
I didn't really touch my mom or anything. But I helped put her in her casket. But other than that, I just was like,
no. I just remember always having to deliver flowers in any of the funeral homes, and he was always the only guy that would. I don't know how to explain it, and it's I don't know. If you've ever been around a dead body, you kind of almost it's a different feeling. I don't know if it's not necessarily bad. It's just this weird. It's not normal.
I'm pretty sure everybody that is listening probably knows exactly what you're talking about.
It's just this feeling, because I remember I'd always have to delivering flowers, and the funeral director, whoever, would just say, "Oh yeah, go ahead and place it next to the casket." And there would be old people and there would be younger people or whatever, and I'd have to go place it next to and I would always try to never make eye contact or ever look at. I don't know why.
Well, you can't really make eye contact with them because they're fucking dead.
Good point. But I'd always watch to see if the eyes would blink sometimes too, though, because I would do not fucking move. It's just this weird emotion. It's this weird feeling of and a lot of it probably comes from movies and other things. And if you grow up and it's regular to you, then it's not as shocking to someone who hasn't been around that their entire life. And so it was just an interesting thing. And then times I'd have to pin it on their body or their clothes or their temple clothes or whatever it was, dude. And that was the creepiest for me, because I don't know why. And you still see the body and it's empty. Like something, it's just, it's off. I don't know how to explain it. It's still that person, but it's not that person anymore. It's just like you could really do whatever with the body, and it's not that. I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's not them, and it's a weird feeling to see the lights go out. And I've never seen anyone actually go from light to death, I guess if you want to call it. But it is an interesting, just that it's empty. I don't know. How to explain it. With our friend Zane,
and that's what's weird. About when I. And most people might think, why are you talking about this? But, it doesn't really bug me to talk about it. But, when I helped put my mom in the casket, my aunt was doing her hair and stuff, and you could see, when I helped put her in the casket, the freaking cut on the back of her head, where they pulled her brain out and stuff, and it's just
oh, really?
It's damn, they did that to my mom. It's just weird, But it's autopsy, dude.
Now, here's why do they do that? Autopsy. Why would they... I know, but if you know what the cause of the death was, why?
Because it has to.
What's the point of pulling a brain out or something?
Death certificate, it has to be official cause of death,
So pulling the brain out, you can figure that out, I guess, or what's the point of pulling the brain out? That's what I want to know.
I have no fucking clue.
Do you know?
Pretty much, they just have to look at everything.
Yeah.
All the causes. Well, it's an interesting business, and you know what? To be honest, it would be if. I don't know how I'd have to just numb myself to it. I think if I were to be around it a lot, then I could.
And I think you know
whatever. But I would like to work there. I know that sounds really weird. I think I would like to be a funeral director or someone helping grieve with the family and do that stuff. If I could learn to become comfortable around the uncomfortable, I guess.
I have a friend named Kayla. She actually moved out to Boston and she's a funeral director in Boston. She has family here in Utah. She comes back all the time. Mm-hmm. We got to try to get her on here.
That'd be awesome.
When she comes back. But for sure. But her, I could totally see her doing that stuff, and the way she acts and stuff, it doesn't bug her at all. I don't know. I think you got to kind of be that type of person. So
yeah, if I could be comfortable around it, I'm telling you, there's a lot of money.
Old people and stuff don't bug me. I couldn't deal with kids. That's one reason.
Babies.
I wanted to be a cop my whole life. That's one reason right there why I never pursued being a police officer, is just because of that kind of shit.
Car accidents.
I can't deal with
fire,
kid stuff.
Of that, dude. Yeah. No, and it's just not normal for the human body to be. Same thing. Look at PTSD from soldiers coming back from Iraq, ending human beings' life. Again, if that's a 23-year-old you just killed, if it's a 14-year-old you just killed, or if it's a 50-year-old you just killed, you have to realize that item, that person, that thing has been alive for X amount of years. Someone's loved it. They've had boyfriends or a girlfriend. They've had families. Maybe they have kids. Maybe they have psychologically, I could never do that, because you'd have to get into the background of it and just know that you just ended something that someone conceived out of love, bought a stroller for, these things, and put money into school for him, and all these things, and then now you were the destroyer. You ended that. Yeah. Psychologically, dude, that would really fuck me up. It should fuck up any human being.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
And that's what we're trying to lead into, is serial killers. Why would someone... Again, we're trying to talk normal here. A normal human being thinks about something like that, like they have kids, a family, a life. At what point does a serial killer... What's What's different about them? Why are they okay with killing 50 to 100 to 10 to 3 to 1? I mean, really. But
honestly,
why?
Like I've told a few people this, but a lot of people don't know this about me. But I have like a major obsession with serial killers. Not that I'm like want to be a serial killer, but I just like I find it interesting as to what you just said. Like, why would someone do that? And like, if somebody like say so there's this kid, I can't remember his name, but it was just recently, like maybe 6 months ago. He lived in like Riverside, California, Long Beach, California or something. Okay. And he was just some kid that he was like 21 years old.
Was that the one with his dad was like a Hollywood producer?
Yeah, and the kid drove like a BMW and stuff. And he just drove through Riverside and just started lighting motherfuckers up. Just killed a bunch of people and then shot himself. Yeah. And he has a YouTube channel. And with a bunch of videos, and so I watched all. It's like, hey, why did the fuck this kid do this? So
Could
I like
you see warning signs?
Oh yeah, dude, he would be on there, and all he would talk about was how women didn't want him. He's like, I'm 21 and I'm a virgin. Why don't women want me? And he'd like show a video of his car. I'm like, I drive a BMW. Why don't you guys want me? And all this stuff. And
it sounds like it's a narcissist.
Yeah, and he posted a video right before the shooting, and he says this is because of all you guys. Like you, oh yeah, it's.
Do you know the guy's name?
I can't remember, dude. But yeah, he's like, this is because of you guys. All you women out there, he's like, you dirty sluts, I'm going to kill all of you. And like, and then he said, like, all you asshole guys that got all the women because you're dicks, this is because of all you. Like, I mean, fuck, yeah, it was pretty crazy. Yeah, Elliot Rodger right there.
Okay. Let's see if I can find Elliot Rodger on YouTube.
But yeah, he put his video on there before the...
Yeah, sure enough, there's a YouTube page. Is this the guy?
Yeah, that's it right there.
Oh, let's see. Now that's the last video? Let's see if I can find his actual channel.
Right there. That's the one.
Let's see. This is the kid?
Yeah, this is the kid.
He looks fine.
Hi. Elliot Rodger here.
You can tell by the way he talks, it's just weird.
Well, this is my last video. It all has to come to this. Tomorrow is the day of retribution. The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity, against all of you. For the last 8 years of my life, ever since I've hit puberty, I've been forced to endure an existence of loneliness, rejection, and unfulfilled desires, all because girls have never been attracted to me. Girls gave their affection and sex and love to other men, but never to me. I'm 22 years old and I'm still a virgin. I've never even kissed a girl. I've been through college for 2.5 years, more than that actually, and I'm still a virgin. It has been very torturous. College is the time when everyone experiences those things such as sex and fun and pleasure. But in those years, I've had to rot in loneliness. It's not fair. You girls have never been attracted to me. I don't know why you girls aren't attracted to me, but I will punish you all for it. It's an injustice, a crime. Because I don't know what you don't see in me. I'm the perfect guy. And yet you throw yourselves at all these obnoxious men instead of me, the supreme gentleman. I will punish all of you for it. On the day of retribution, I am going to enter the hottest sorority house of UCSB. And I will slaughter every single spoiled, stuck-up, blonde slut I see inside there. All those girls that I've desired so much, they would have all rejected me and looked down upon me as an inferior man if I ever made a sexual advance towards them. While they throw themselves at these obnoxious brutes. take great pleasure in slaughtering all of you. You will finally see that I am, in truth, the superior one, the true alpha male. Yes. After I've annihilated every single girl in the sorority house, I'll take to the streets of Isla Vista and slay every single person I see there. All those popular kids who live such lives of hedonistic pleasure while I've had to rot in loneliness for all these years. They've all looked down upon me every time I tried to go out and join them. They've all treated me like a mouse. Well, now, I will be a god compared to you. You will all be animals. You are animals, and I will slaughter you like animals. I'll be a god, exacting my retribution on all those who deserve it. And you do deserve it, just for the crime of living a better life than me. All you popular kids, you've never accepted me, and now you'll all pay for it. And girls, all I've ever wanted was to love you and to be loved by you. I've wanted a girlfriend. I've wanted sex. I've wanted love, affection, adoration. But you think I'm unworthy of it. That's a crime that can never be forgiven. If I can't have you, girls, I will destroy you.
Fucking creepy.
You denied me a happy life. And in turn, I will deny all of you life. It's only fair. I hate all of you. Humanity is a disgusting, wretched, depraved species. If I had it in my power, I would stop at nothing to reduce every single one of you to mountains of skulls and rivers of blood.
Alright, I think we got the point. So, let's break that video down real quick. What in the fuck is wrong with this kid?
Okay, so it says his dad was a producer, like a movie producer or some shit. I don't know, to me it seems like possibly... I mean...
Well, one, it proves that money can't bring total happiness.
Yeah, I mean...
The kid has it all. The kid's got a nice car. He doesn't look bad.
In this video, I think he's probably got a GoPro on his dash and he's sitting in his car and he's driving a BMW. So, I mean... I don't know. See, like, and I worked with... recently, a couple years ago, I worked at a residential treatment center. It was like for troubled teens.
Yeah.
A lot of kids there that were really good fucking kids, man. Just really good kids. But they were there because, you know, there's one kid, I can't say their names, but his dad was like a business executive from Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. He'd fly in and see his son like on a jet, you know.
Yeah.
He'd fly in on his private jet and all this shit. But I think it was in his dad, you know, he told me, he's like, dude, he's like, I'm a good kid. He's like, my dad was never around. I didn't really have a home life. He's like, I had all the money I ever wanted. My dad gave me everything, but I didn't have like a family life. I didn't have, you know, my dad to play softball or baseball with me, or, you know, throw football at, you know, with me and shit and do like regular dad stuff. He's like, he was just always gone. So I got with the wrong crowd, started smoking weed. And then my dad was just like, oh fuck, I don't want to deal with him. Send him to this place. Cause I mean, it costed $9,600 a month to send your kid to these places. And it's like, he's like, my dad just shipped me off because he didn't want to deal with me. So I think, I don't know, I'm not saying all of it, but to me, it just seems like that kid needed some help. Didn't really have the home life he needed.
Yeah.
So he just fucking, to me, it sounded like he wanted to have a happy life, but instead of, I mean, obviously there's some mental fucking issues there that needed
depression,
to be,
highly.
Yeah, you know, that needed to be taken care of by a professional. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think that kid, I think that kid had something wrong with him that he couldn't fix himself, but maybe if his dad, and who knows, he could have had a bad ass.
It sounds like he needed a fucking dad.
Yeah, so it sounds like his dad, instead of his dad like taking care of it,
yeah,
taking care of him and saying, "Oh, my son has fucking issues. Let's get him taken care of."
I bet a lot of the issues would have never popped up if dad was being a better dad.
Right. And who knows?
You can't blame the dad. Again, there's a lot of people that just suffer from psychological diseases.
And I mean, the dad could have been the dad could have been a good dude and tried to help his kid. Who knows? This is just what I'm thinking, because I don't, we don't obviously know the whole story, but that's just my take.
When he brings up like the sexual advances and stuff like that, when he says like, "You've shut me down every time I was trying to do sexual advance," like he's a smart kid. He's using big words. He almost sounds a little, like, what is it called? I don't want to say autistic, but he has something similar.
You can tell by the way he laughs, dude. He's just fucking evil.
And it almost seems like it was not even evil, but fake. It was very fake. It wasn't him. It was, and I'm not saying it was someone else in the head, but it was a fake person. It was like a script. Like he was acting. There was an act. Yeah. It was this person he was pretending to be, that he was, to be this and to do this and this crazy shit. And then it just sounds like he just. And again, if that's the way he was acting, and he's trying to pretend, I got the BMW, I got this. Girls aren't necessarily always attracted to just that, and that's probably where he ran into half of his issues. Was just he's putting on an act. He's this actor instead of himself. Or again, there's dad issues, and it looks like a lot of psychological issues. But he's got some fucking issues. And so, could you see the warning signs coming? Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. And hopefully and if you click on his YouTube channel, there's tons of videos just
similar to that.
Oh, yeah, and he'll be like walking around his car, like he'll be like, "Oh, I'll come up here on a walk by myself because women don't want me and shit." And it's like, I don't know. Yeah, but he ended up fucking cruising through Santa Barbara and fucking, he never went to the sorority house. He just cruised the streets and just fucking lit people up until he killed 6 people. So
that's crazy.
Crazy. Not a serial killer, but just a fucking nut.
Well, he's serial. I mean, not necessarily in the sense of that, but it more like a mass murder, a mass shooting.
Yeah.
Another thing to talk about as well, and it brings up a similar point, but is the Columbine shootings is somewhat similar to that. People tried to blame it on the two shooters, blame it on
Marilyn Manson. Fucking,
it's all bullshit.
Whatever, but
what it comes down to is it was the same. It's bullying, and it seems like this kid was going through somewhat of the same thing. Whether that was women he was trying to hit up, but he wasn't being fit. Asperger's is what I was trying to say. He it seems like he has a little bit of Asperger's, but it just sounds like he got shot down a lot. Bullies of friends. It was why don't friends want to be friends with me? I've got cars, money. My dad is so and so. But that's a big turnoff to an extent when that's who you want. That's your first line is, "Oh, hey, my dad's this, I got this, that." No one wants to be around someone who's obsessed with themselves, and it sounds like he was very obsessed with himself, and
probably because he lacked attention, so he had to give himself attention.
Or would put, and I guarantee he put friends down. If he had like 2 or 3 other friends, he'd put them down.
And also, I mean, just the way kids treat other kids these days is fucking ridiculous, man.
Oh, and online is even worse.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I wasn't super bullied in school, but I mean, I fucking got my ass kicked a couple times. I mean, I remember I had the same Stone Cold Steve Austin, the same Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt as this dude, this kid in class. His name's Roy, and he's my friend now. He's cool. He'd beat my ass every day because I'd show up and I'd see Roy with his Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt. And I'm like, fuck, I got mine on too. I'm getting my ass kicked at recess. Shit, But
that's hilarious.
But yeah, man. I mean, I got my ass kicked. I dealt with it, but now it's like everything goes online, dude. Everything goes on fucking Facebook and Instagram. And it's like that's why I teach my son to love everybody and accept everybody, because there's dudes like this out there. But then it's like, I don't know, man. It's like you get kids that treat other kids like shit, and I think a lot of the times stuff like this stems from the way they're fucking treated by other people.
There was a study that came out today that I saw, like online trolls and stuff. It's about them. That a lot of them, after doing a ton of research and stuff into why does someone troll someone, why does someone make someone want to really hurt, or someone, a lot of it is narcissism. And a bunch of other, I can't remember. I'd have to look it up, but it's a bunch of all kinds of little things. And trolling can be fun once in a while with a random other because like if I did you, it'd be funny because I'm just saying something goofy on your fucking Instagram, not trying to make Bryce hate himself, kill himself, embarrass him, and so there's a difference between that, but it comes down to the lack of social interaction. I think that kid just didn't have that much social interaction because of the vibe he was kind of giving off. And I'm sure him and UCLA in the class and stuff, he was probably maybe one of the kids who always had the answer, always had a comment about something, or always the jerk off, or and I don't know. I'm just getting the vibe of that from him.
I don't know. I mean, they say that a lonely mind is a dangerous mind, dude. So
absolutely, if you don't have anyone to talk to,
and I think that's what a lot of the serial killers and shit stem from. And like Christian said, we're not fucking experts, but I mean, we have our own views on it. And I mean, we have our own opinions and shit. But I think that's what a lot of serial killers stem from. Is,
Yeah, we'll get into the only one it's a little different about that is Charles Manson. I think it becomes the cult leader, the follower that I am Jesus Christ. These people would believe it. I can have sex. I can do them. I can tell them anything, and it's control, and that's how he got off.
And technically, they claim Charles Manson himself never killed anybody,
but he actually did. He stabbed one guy in the stomach. I think he lived or maybe died or something. This was previous of that, but he did stab someone in the stomach once. But I don't remember if he ended up dying or whatnot. So I could be wrong. But he did actually take action in some sort. But you're right. It was more the control, the power. That's how he was getting off. I mean, he was just, it's control and power. I mean, these people believe that you are Jesus Christ, that you are, whatever. And women, you're having group sex every night and you can do anything and they're all listening and you can say anything, they're all believing you. Then that's how these guys are getting off. That's how a lot of, like Jonestown, we were talking about last week, the guy who made, everyone drink the Kool-Aid and shit. It was the same thing. It's just everyone's listening to me. Okay. That's how a lot of churches are started. That's how a lot of branches or things like that are started, is because the listening, and the power and control. And sometimes we'll push them to the point of, all right, everyone, here you go. Let's test you and die. And some of them will do and some won't. But it's interesting. It's all fucking crazy. Getting back into the kid, I don't know, man. That's just it's a really psycho stuff. And again, we don't know half of this fucking story at all. But from what I've seen,
we're reading what everybody else can read on the internet. So.
Yeah, he was sad. You could tell he was depressed, and it came into that. And then going into Columbine, I guess it's bullying. Those guys were bullied. They were the misfits. They were the kids that got teased or made fun of, or they were wearing their clothes or whatever it was. But in high school, you can only take so much, and you pretend to be this face. You don't give a shit. You don't care. You don't whatever. But truly, all they ever wanted was to be somewhat accepted. I mean, everyone does.
Right.
And they had the same thing. Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to punish him because that's what no one else is doing. I'm going to do it.
Exactly.
And that's what it came down to: is two good kids, and again, just a super shooting. And it's, we don't have all the answers again, but it's some trippy shit around that. So what do you think? I don't know. The psychology behind, let's talk about just the psychology behind a serial killer. Someone who's okay with murdering multiple times on different events and planning things out. They're wired differently. And you were saying with Ted Bundy, or no, Ted Bundy was like pornography or watching hardcore. I mean, not hard, the brutal shit, the stuff that's like beating the women and not necessarily BDSM, I guess, but violent pornography is the best way to put it. And also, I think with that is the same situation with this kid. And I'm surprised this kid, not having sex or whatever. I mean, if he had money, he could have paid for sex. He could have found someone. There was these certain things. He could have gone to the strip club or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. He could have found someone to have sex with.
Right.
And it sounds like he never took that action or whatever. But where was I going with this? Just violent pornography and stuff. That I guarantee Ted Bundy he started with pornography. And I guarantee half of it was he was a good-looking guy. All the ladies still even said that he looked like a normal guy, looked like a good-looking guy. They would go on dates, and then the girls would be in the bug, and they would notice that their the car handle on the passenger side was fucking gone. And after they got in, that they couldn't get necessarily out. He had completely took it off and shit. And it happened like in American Fort Canyon here in Utah.
Yeah, he killed 2 girls up there or something.
Yeah, and I know I work with a guy whose either sister was lived in, I don't know, it was a sorority house or something, but knew the girl that got murdered. And I think she's the one who lived or something like that. No, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I know for a fact he back in the day the Lehigh sheriff Ted Bundy killed his daughter.
Maybe that's who it was because it was someone local. I remember.
Yeah.
But that's just some crazy stuff. And I know there's a Ted Bundy's house or something in Pleasant Grove, and then there's a cave up in American Fort Canyon that's where he did most of it, allegedly. I don't know. But
no, there's down in Fairview, there's Ted Bundy used to live in Fairview.
So I'm sure there's a million places.
There's actually a house down there. Yeah. When I was in high school, I lit his fucking potato cellar on fire. So
what the hell's a potato cellar?
It's it's in his backyard. Mm-hmm. And it's just an old abandoned house. People will fuck around there, and there's like a underground like potato cellar to keep fucking taters.
Really?
Yeah, and there's like a sheet down there, and I lit it on fire when I was in high school. It's pretty awesome. But anyway,
there's Bryce. So, anyways, Ted Bundy was a wacky guy. He, I think it comes down to the same thing: is he just couldn't explain or try to actually have a relationship with a girl. I think that in the frustration, the sexual frustration or the oppression can get to someone, and then obviously the depression can get to them. From not being able to have just a normal date or a normal relationship or this normal stuff. And again, maybe that it comes down definitely with the pornography is wired. And again, I have nothing wrong. Porn's fine to an extent. As long as both parties are all fine with it, they're all good in porn, have at it. But watching certain porn, I don't know. I've seen some nasty shit, and I can't take it. I think it's fucked up. I would never be down with that. I think it should be certain ones should be illegal, and violent pornography is one of them. It's just fucked up.
I don't do porn, dude. I watched it. I watched it with my buddy in high school. Okay. And I honestly God, I haven't watched porn since like high school, dude. I don't.
That's good.
I don't fuck with that shit.
I get it. And so that's the thing is it can be very chemically wiring and stimulating for the brain certain things, and if that's what he was attracted to, because everyone has like that, not necessarily a fetish. But that's probably what his fetish was just that he enjoyed watching women be tortured or brutally beat or, whatever. And there are a lot of people that BDSM, we've had a podcast with two people that are hardcore into it. And they both enjoy it. They love it. Some of their greatest fantasies are just if they were out and about, like they would let friends know and they would go out and about. And their greatest fantasy was to someone to put a bag over their head, fucking chuck them in the back of a trunk, and they have no idea where they're going and be raped. Like that's how they can get off. They enjoy that. They want that. Like that's their date night. They would enjoy that. But for me, again, I'm saying you have to respect the kink. You have to respect if that's their fetish and that's how they get off. Then as long as again both parties are fine with it.
As long as I'm not getting tossed in a trunk and fucking raped.
But where you're taking,
do what you want.
Yeah. And so I think what happened is just, and again back in the day, porn wasn't as accessible as it is today, I guess.
Well, yeah, no, you can follow porn stars on fucking Instagram for God's sakes. I mean,
and maybe that's where it was. Is he had to try it out. He had to hack it out, it's hard to just find someone to meet up to do it, and you have to do it. And again, I don't know the full. There's documentaries on him. There's all kinds of interesting stuff, and I haven't watched enough to fully comment things on him, but. Ted Bundy.
Yeah, there's a few I know a lot about, but Ted Bundy's one that I just kind of.
He was just a normal guy. From what I know, he was just this normal type of guy. Normal-looking man.
On the outside, he's normal, yeah.
And and so women were at least comfortable to an extent around him, and then obviously the other person came into play. But I know he talks about that. I just remember always being in church, like, don't look at pornography. Look what had Ted Bundy. That's one out of how many billion, But it's a funny topic to bring up. Another guy, Iceman. A lot. What's his name? Ted?
No, Richard Kuklinski. He was a contract killer for he lived in New York, but they executed him in 2006. He was arrested when he was 49. He was killed when he was 70. He was a fucking
that's a Hannibal guy.
Richard Kuklinski, they called him the Iceman. He was like a contract killer, I guess, for the mafia in New York. Like I said, they killed him when he was 70 in 2006, but in a New Jersey prison. He killed...
Didn't he work with mafia?
Yeah, he claimed he was convicted of like 6 murders, but he claimed he killed 150 to 350 men. And what happened with that fucker was... He would just strictly contract killing. He would go straight home. He had a family life. you know, kids, wife. He'd go home every day and eat dinner with his family, and you know, they thought, oh, you know, dad's been at work, blah blah blah. Well, he's been out killing motherfuckers. But then, what happened when it all went wrong is he started liking to kill it. So then, instead of him getting a contract to kill someone, he'd go out and just kill people. Like in one of his interviews, he said, "Oh yeah, I got a sawed-off shotgun," and he's like, "I just wanted to see what it would do, so I went up to a taxi driver and knocked on his window. He rolled it down, and I just put it in his head and blew his head off and walked off."
Yeah.
And you know, and the guy says, "You know, is there any murders that you feel bad about?" And he's like, "No, not really." He's like, "I don't regret any of them." And then he goes, "Well, there is one that I kind of, you know, that bugged me for a little while, but then it didn't." And they asked him about it, and I guess he decided he wanted to kill someone with a crossbow.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, so he went and he bought a crossbow, and he just found some guy in drove to Manhattan, found some dude, took him in an alley, and pretty much put him on his knees. And the guy was like praying, I have kids, I'm going home with my wife, I shot a little boy, you know, please don't shoot me. And that, you know, Iceman, Richard Kuklinski, was like, okay, I won't shoot you. And the guy's like, okay. And he's like, if you can pray to God right now, and the God comes out of the sky and says he's going to spare your life, I won't shoot you. So he's like, get praying. So the dude's like, fuck. So he starts praying to God. Well, God didn't come out of the sky. So he shot the dude in the head with a crossbow.
Fuck.
And just left him there, dude.
I mean, some crazy shit.
And the way he was talking about it, like on the interviews on YouTube, the way Richard Kuklinski was talking about it, dude, is just like, he's just talking about so casual, just like we're talking to you guys right now. It's just, dude, it's just nuts. I mean, you know, hey, that'd be like if I was like, hey, Christian, let's go buy a crossbow and fucking go kill somebody.
All right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, that's what he did. He's like, I just went and bought a crossbow and fucking went and killed somebody.
If for anyone that wants to know more information, definitely on the serial killer, Richard Kuklinski or whatever, the Iceman, I believe it's called the Iceman Tapes or something. It's on HBO. It's a long documentary, but it's all interviews with him putting him to on death row.
And it's pretty interesting. I watch it too, but it's like you watch it and he just looks someone's dad. He looks like someone's grandpa. He's like a normal fucking dude, man. I mean,
yeah, he's a mafia hitman. It looks like there's a movie that just barely came out about him. So that's interesting. It's called The Iceman. There's a movie on him.
So pretty much, he said, you know, he says in some of his interviews that
the Iceman Tapes. That's
he said in some of his interviews, if he just would have stuck to contract killing, he said, you know, I would not be in prison, and they would have never caught me. He's like, but when I went wrong is when I started killing for fun. I started enjoying it.
That's crazy.
And he never killed women. It was always men.
Really?
Yeah. And he said, you know, he's like, I'm convicted of 6 murders, but he said he killed like 300 men, dude.
That's crazy.
And I mean, and the murders that he was convicted of was like the contract ones, dude. And so, I mean, he says in there's like, I lost count. He's like, I've killed anywhere from 150 to fucking 300 people. So, I mean, that's a lot, dude.
It's insane.
And he said, you know, he'd go out and kill 5 or 6 people a day and then go home to his family and eat dinner and read his kids' stories and go to bed.
Not think anything of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fucking crazy, man.
Gary Ridgway. Gary Ridgway is the Green River Killer or whatever. He's an interesting one, and I know he's killed someone here in Utah. Let me look it up. I just want to make sure I get these facts right. The Green River Killer, Utah. Let's see. Yeah, Salt Lake City, Utah. He went on a 20-year killing spree. I remember it took him forever to find this guy and stuff, and he'd moved from city to city and stuff. Yeah, but it looks involved with 50 missing people, including one from Salt Lake City, Utah. Anyways, he's an interesting one. But I saw this video the other day, and I thought it was really interesting. It's the parents of the victims or family members of the victims that he killed while they were about to get ready to sentence him. He anyways, they could say whatever to him, and there was one father who forgave him, and that's the only time that anyone's ever seen this man cry. And that was pretty interesting, because you think of these people with no emotions, no feelings, nothing whatsoever, and then you watch this video, and it's pretty interesting. So anyways, we'll watch it real quick. Listen. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So he killed 48 women, and he was given, the Green River Murderer. Let's see.
On November 5th, 2003, all doubt of Ridgway's guilt was erased. he pleaded guilty to the murders of 48 women. He'd made a deal to cooperate with the prosecution to provide more information on his victims and the whereabouts of their remains. In doing so, he avoided a trial and possible death penalty.
Mr. Ridgway, how do you plead to the charge of aggravated murder in the first degree as charged in count 1 for the death of Wendy Lee Caulfield?
Guilty.
How do you plead to the charge of aggravated murder in the first degree as charged in count 2?
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
It's like he didn't have any remorse at all for what he had done. You know, he killed so many people, he didn't remember who they were, what they looked like. I just couldn't believe that somebody could kill all those people and not remember them.
Neither could the angry relatives of his victims, who were invited to speak in court when Ridgway was sentenced to life without parole on December 18th, 2003.
You had said your memory, when it comes to all of the women you took, was gone. Our memory is not. In your words, you said that they didn't mean anything to you, but she meant everything to us.
She was a mother, she was a wife, she was a sister, and we miss her.
Gary Ridgway sat there stone-faced as victims' relatives damned him and mocked him.
He's an animal. I wish for him to have a long, suffering, cruel death.
He's gonna go to hell, and that's where he belongs.
But then the emotionless facade finally cracked when the father of one of his victims appeared to surprise him with a dose of human kindness.
Mr. Ridgway, there are people here that hate you. I'm not one of them. You've made it difficult to live up to what I believe, and that is what God says to do, and that's to forgive. You are forgiven, sir.
Anyways, then the guy starts bawling and crying and stuff, but it was pretty interesting.
Crazy,
it's intense.
That was crazy.
It's fucking intense. So that man, you know, and it's bad. I don't know. It's fucking nuts. That's all it really is. You can't really explain a lot behind him, and you know, it sounds like he was saying just that he didn't care about his victims. He doesn't remember his victims. He just didn't care, I guess. You know, and I don't know the full story behind why or what his victims or his certain, because every one of them had almost like a certain style, and they almost always wanted attention or credit. Does that make sense? Like it was this whole and a great person to talk about is the Zodiac Killer. Have you ever seen the movie The Zodiac Killer?
And I honestly don't know a lot about the Zodiac Killer.
He's well, before I play this video, there's a cool video here, and it's more recent that someone came out and said that possibly it was either the grandfather or their father or something that they think was the Zodiac Killer.
So they never caught the Zodiac Killer.
To this day, we still don't have 100% proof of who it was or whatever. We have ideas and stuff like that, but he was one who would send letters to, well, first off, what he started doing is he'd murder like 2 kids out at like a makeout place, and he murdered them in their car and stuff, would stab them to fucking death, and some of them lived. Then there was another one that was just, they were having a picnic out in the middle of nowhere, and he just showed up and he'd have a black bag over his face with 2 eye holes and a mouthpiece and stuff, and a big the Zodiac sign, which is pretty much the cross. That's where the cross kind of comes from. Was that whole? It looks like a southern crux. And anyways, and he would go and when he'd write letters and send it to the San Francisco police and stuff, he would always write in like codes and different words, and he'd play all these tricks. And he always wanted the fame, people to be scared to not go out. He killed the taxi guy too. He's killed a lot of people, but they've never found him just because he would always have these weird codes and these crazy things. And anyways, it's a great movie if you've never seen it, just to learn about it. It's really, he's an interesting feller. But here's a cool thing that's really, really somewhat new on who they think could possibly be the Zodiac Killer. So
50 years after terror gripped the San Francisco area, we may finally know the true identity of the Zodiac Killer. In a just-released book, a man claims to have proof that his own father is, in fact, the infamous serial killer. The Zodiac Killer terrorized Northern California in the late 60s, killing at least 5 people, all while taunting police with letters and cryptic messages. The case has become one of the most chilling in American history.
Late December 1968, two young lovers were murdered in the small town of Vallejo. The victims apparently forced out of their car and shot. Then, 6 months later, it happened again, just 2 miles away. Two more young victims shot in a car. No one realized the murders were connected until the killer claimed responsibility and promised even more bloodshed in a series of letters to newspapers. He called himself Zodiac, accompanied by what would become his trademark symbol. The letters were taunting. He seemed empowered by the fear he caused.
This is the Zodiac speaking. I like killing people because it is so much fun.
It appears to us that he is killing just for the thrill.
His correspondence also featured cryptograms or ciphers. They seemed to be clues, but most were never decoded.
It was so tantalizing. He gave us so many clues, and the fear was so great.
And for good reason. Zodiac was not finished.
I see him walking, not running, but walking deliberately with some speed toward us.
September 27, 1969. Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard took an afternoon drive here to Lake Berryessa. What goes through your mind when you see the guy's pointed gun at you?
Well, you kind of stop, and he says, "Don't worry about it. All I want is your money in your car. There's nothing to be concerned about."
And Brian says at the time he thought it was a simple robbery, even after the hooded man has both of them hogtied, their hands bound to their feet with this very clothesline.
I was never concerned that anything bad was going to happen other than maybe being stuck out there tied up all night. Never crossed my mind.
Then suddenly, a swift movement. He stabbed you without warning?
No, without a warning. Without saying a word, without saying I'm going to get you, without anything, just boom.
Brian was stabbed 8 times, his lung punctured, blood everywhere.
I'm feeling not the knife blade, I'm feeling the hilt, I'm feeling his hand on my back.
For Cecilia, it was even worse, stabbed between 10 and 20 times. With his 2 victims, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, bleeding on the ground, the Zodiac calmly walked away, leaving footprints size 10.5 behind him. He headed to Brian's sports car, a Volkswagen Carmen Ghia, and with a felt tip marker scribbled on the passenger side door. It's a declaration, as if he's saying, "Make no mistake, I killed all these people and here's proof." He wrote the dates of his murders, indicating he did the latest one with a knife. And the door is adorned with his trademark symbol. Even more brazen, the Zodiac used a payphone to call the police to report his own crime.
He slipped through the police hands at least 2 times. They came so close that the phone he used and left hanging from the hook was still wet with sweat.
Somehow, Brian made a full recovery. Cecilia died in the hospital. To this day, police have never arrested a suspect. The Zodiac went on to claim he was responsible for more than 3 dozen killings, but authorities could only link him to 5.
All right, take a look, folks. Is that the face of the Zodiac Killer? Well, one man says it is, and he's just released a book detailing his findings. He says his very own father is the man behind the horrific serial killings that gripped San Francisco back in the late 60s. And he says he has proof. Now, this is a guy who was looking for his biological father in that search. And through that search, he believes he's come across this evidence that links his biological father to the Zodiac Killer. Well, the first piece of evidence is the picture. Let's take another look, if we can, at that sketch. And here you have the sketch that was given by one of the survivors of one of the attacks. And there's his father. And you look at him side by side. Mike Brooks and the Dream Team in with me. Look at him side by side, Mike. I mean, that is uncanny.
Vinny, even down to the mouth and the hair.
Anyways, I'll save the spare of it. But pretty much, it does fucking look like the guy.
Yeah, it looks exactly
and it's
like
just
him.
barely coming out. I mean, and that would be crazy that, even if it was your own father or whatever, that would be insane. Like, just realizing your dad's not the guy you thought he was your entire fucking life would be pretty crazy. But Zodiac Killer, he's a really, really interesting one. And just, but he did mostly, it sounds like, for fun. I'm sure that's how he was getting off as well. It was that release of the dopamine and everything else in his brain. But
the way it sounds like he just like around. He like the. Sounds like he's probably really
and the fear,
obviously
and
really
the power.
fucking smart.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, he got away.
Yeah. So I mean, I think maybe he just like fucking running from the cops. Thought it was funny, fun, something. I don't know.
Well, and I'm sure the guy worked at a desk job. I mean, this guy. I don't know if he's a teacher or whatever, but like, you wouldn't think this is the guy who's out murdering everyone. And so I think it was just that whole. He played into it, liked it a little, and then continued with it, and just a whole chase, and then he could lead people on this complete path and sit back and watch and see that they're not going to get me, and that would be interesting. And I think a lot of it comes into for a lot of these guys is it's power. It's okay, I'm weak out here in society, girls don't like me, or not necessarily with him, but with these other guys, and then all of a sudden you're in a place of power where it's life or death. Pray to God. Okay, bye. Like you're in this place of power. You're in control, and I'll do anything really.
Yeah.
And it's I'm sure it's a power hungry type thing. It's a feeling, and I'm not going to. As human beings, we enjoy. Everyone likes power, and also fearful. Like these, obviously you're fearful when you're sitting there and there's a gun to your head. And I'm sure that they like the idea of someone being scared, feared, because they're in complete power, and you have to pretty much do what they're saying. And I'm sure they enjoy watching the fear come out of you and stuff. And yeah, they could just walk away and prank you or whatever, or they could just follow through with it and make sure and let again, here's San Francisco. They put curfews on. They wouldn't let people go out. Everyone was scared to go out because they thought they were the next one. It's a whole sitting back and enjoying and watching your whole fucking city screaming, freaking out, lock the doors, do it. And you're like, that's me. That's all me. Yep. And this guy liked, he would write into the newspapers and he would make demands and certain things would happen. And you have to post these in the newspapers. They posted his letters in the newspapers. Otherwise, he'd murder people. And he would do it anyways. But, and, just sitting back and having control, power to, no one cares about me. No one's interested in me. And then all of a sudden, now I'm in control and I have power. I think that comes down to a lot of it. But not all of them. And that's the thing is you really can't just say all serial killers ... because they're all fucking so different.
Yeah.
This one again, he was really smart. He technically maybe got away. I mean, I assume the dad is dead. Yeah. If he's coming out with this book, I don't think the dad would allow it. It'd be cool with it. But there's that, and then also says like, let's see. I don't know. What else do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the Texas Chainsaw one? His name's Ed Gein, you said?
Yeah, Ed Gein.
Ed Gein.
And that one's older. It was like, what was it, like 1906? 1903?
1906.
Yeah, 1906.
Let's see.
Technically, that's where the fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre came from. Was this dude. He'd like fucking... What did it say? He was a grave robber? And he would take corpse and he'd like keep their bones and their skin and shit.
I'm sure he had something to do with that. Let's see. His early life, deaths to immediate family. No. Okay, crimes. Here we go. So, some of his crimes were, he would just, let's see, disappeared. Yeah, whole human bones and fragments and stuff. Searching the house. This is what the police found while searching his house. They found whole human bones and fragments, wastebasket of human skin covering several chair seats, skulls on his bedposts. That's trippy. Holy shit.
Leggings.
Bowls made of human skulls.
Leggings made from human leg skin.
Female skulls. Some of the tops sawn off. Let's see. Masks made of skin from female heads. Let's see. Mary Hogan's face mask in a paper bag. Mary Hogan's skull in a box. Let's see. A young girl's dress. And the vulvas of two females judged to have been about 15 years old. So what? Dress and the vulva. I don't understand that.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure.
A belt made from human nipples.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So it sounds like he was an incredible sewer. 4 noses, a pair of lips, and a window shade drawn string. A lampshade made of skin of a human face, and fingernails from female fingers. That's
holy shit. I didn't know any of that. Did you know any of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's where it comes from. There was no chainsaw, by the way. I just want to put that out there. I had a weird obsession with it, like we were talking last podcast, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because they always say, "Oh, based on a true story." Everything except for that chainsaw and a lot of other aspects, but yeah, a large part of it was really that fucking happened. And he spent time in a mental hospital. Heads up.
How did it say he died?
Let's see. The aftermath death. Died of respiratory failure due to lung cancer in the mental hospital. That was it. Yeah.
1984, died 1984.
Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. Wait, let's see. So Keen's story was adapted. Yeah, so his story has been played out, or at least had different parts played in a lot of big movies. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is Leatherface, the Psycho, Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs, and certain other things. So it sounds like, he's the first kind of real psycho guy. And then John Wayne Gacy. Let's talk about that guy. That guy's a crazy fuck. He's a guy who dressed up as a clown, right? He owned a construction company, I know.
And he would fucking dress up as a clown and fucking kill people.
Yeah. And then they would he would hire these kids or the local friends or people. He'd hire them out, and everyone knew him kind of in town and stuff. But he'd hire him out, and he would get these kids to come. Oh, you need a place to stay? Come stay at my house. And then he buried kids in his fucking in his house.
And this is
that's him as a clown, dude.
This is the first dude that we've talked about tonight that actually looks like he's just fucked up.
Yeah.
Like the other dudes look, like Ted Bundy and shit. They look like normal ass guys. This guy actually looks like he's just a fucking creep, dude.
Yeah, he does. Let's see if I can. Here's the Wikipedia on John Wayne Gacy. I know the house still exists and stuff, and people have done. I don't know. It'd just be. I don't know. Again, it's an obsession or almost this. We are interested in it. Like I would like to go and visit some of these places, but I don't know. Like it's like a taboo if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Like it's weird to be interested in such a weird thing, I guess. So let's see. Yeah, this guy would dress up as a clown. Pogo the Clown was his name. And it looks like he would do birthday parties or something. And then, I just knew he would get a bunch of teenage kids. He'd rape them. He'd do a lot of things to them, and then bury them in his crawl space or in his basement in the actual ground or in the cement and stuff in his house.
Didn't they? What was his count?
Murder 15. Investigation. Search for victims. Let's see if it says 27 bodies were recovered from Gacy's property. 26 which were found buried in the crawl space. 28th victim was found buried in a pit close to the barbecue grill in the backyard. Can you imagine? Like that's fucking 30. That's just so crazy. That's insane. So, anyways, a fuck ton of guys, and they were all men and teens and stuff. They were all guys, but that's pretty crazy. Let's look at some other guys. Well, we have Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer ate people, if I remember. Is that right? He would eat. Let's triple check.
Yeah,
make sure. But I'm pretty sure he ate some of his victims. He looks just like he's a classic cow. I don't know. It has that hit.
It looks like he kind of paved the way for the fucking hipster mustache that's going on these days.
Let's see. First murder and army service. Wikipedia is so okay. Anyways, you guys just check it out. But he is one crazy motherfucker.
I think when they first found out that he was killing people, I think his dad was looking for something in his room and found a fucking head under his bed or something.
Did they?
That. Yeah, he found a head and like a freaking dick and balls in a shoebox or something, dude.
Yeah. Let's see. There's he was a cannibal. Yep. So how does someone decide all of a sudden I'm going to try eating a human being? Like, it's just interesting.
He was 6'1". He's a fucking tall dude.
Yeah, 6'1". Killed 17 men and boys between 1978 and 1991. Interesting. That's all. We're just going to keep going. We already talked about Ted Bundy. Charles Manson's a classic. We can talk about Charles Manson. Charles Manson is a man who ran hence the family. Actually, my grandpa ran
Charles
into
Manson's
him.
Still alive?
Yes, he's in prison. You can write to him, and he'll write back.
Fuck that.
No, you really can.
Bullshit. He writes back?
Yeah. Look, there's Charles Manson letters you can write to him. He's written books. He's smart. He even has all kinds of what's it called? I don't want to like degrees and stuff, but yeah, you can write to him and he'll write back. And he has now carved a swastika on his head, and stuff. But Charles Manson's like one of the first real psychotic. Just have you ever heard any interviews with him?
No,
dude. Yeah, let me find one. He doesn't make much sense. And again, these are a little bit older of interviews and stuff. But Charles Manson, yeah, he's an old guy. That's what he looks like now. Yeah. Let me find Charles Manson. Like this shit. It's crazy.
People look at you today, 20 years later, and they still have no idea what you're about. Tell me in a sentence who you are.
He's making a bunch of faces at the camera.
What the fuck?
Nobody. I'm nobody. I'm a tramp, a bum, a hobo. I'm a boxcar and a jug of wine. And a straight racer if you get too close to me.
What the fuck, dude?
But he has... Oh, it's that one. Hold on. I need to find it. This is one of my favorite ones by far.
Do you feel blame? Are you mad? Do you feel like Wolf's Bob's right friends? Get friends, Peter Remix,
What the fuck?
Yeah, Charles Manson. He's pretty crazy.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but no, he's still kicking it in prison and stuff. Now, have you ever seen, what is it called? Monster. About the two women. It was mainly one and stuff, but she was like a prostitute, and she'd kill the men. Sometimes she'd sleep with. This is her right here. Really, absolutely crazy. But that's a great movie too to check out. And her name is it Allie or Alien Womaness? I don't fucking know. Anyways, there's just so many of them. They're so all crazy. But yeah, no, Charles Manson, if you write to him, he'll write back to you. I've never done it, but allegedly a lot of people have done it. That would be cool. And you can buy a lot of his items. So I was watching a show on Taboo on National Geographic, and there's a guy who makes a lot of money off of like serial killers or items from serial killers.
You can
or
buy
like
serial killer masks and shit.
What do you mean?
Carly buys that shit.
Like what? But what do you mean? Like of their faces? Like of like a Charles Manson face mask? Or
yeah, you
what are you
can do
talking
that,
about?
or
what would I look up if I want to look up something like? So what ones do you own?
do Ed Gein. I just ordered that one for my brother's birthday.
And then mask.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
And then
right there, dude. Fucking Leatherface.
The Leatherface one. Oh, because I love leather. I'm obsessed with that fucking movie. So like, let's see, shopping. That. Ed Gein. Yeah, all I'm seeing is Leatherface.
It's not on there.
Must be a one.
It looks kind of like that.
A face and stuff. Let's see. It looks like it's a book, but that's cool.
Like the face.
What other ones have you bought?
Leatherface.
I haven't bought him anymore, but he buys a new one every single year.
Does he collect them?
Yeah. Oh.
So like, what's a website I can go to that I can check it out? Like, give me a website.
On here, actually. Hold on.
Okay, hold on, everybody. We're gonna check this out. But no, I'm obsessed with. Again, it's this weird obsession, almost this taboo with it, and I'm just more fascinated behind the story behind it, or the things leading up to it, or the horror of it. No, I'm not gonna fucking murder anyone yet, but I'm just obsessed with it. I think it's really interesting because it's not normal.
deathstudios.com/masks.
deathstudios.com/masks. Let's check this shit out. Okay, find mask. Wait, things.
So they have murderers.
Do I have to go to Oh, okay. Classic.
Killers.
Where is it?
Whoa, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. There we go. That's the one I just ordered.
Oh, okay. That one's a cool one. Wow, these are really good, too. Like, these are made well. That's a horrible one at the chainsaw, though. It doesn't look good. Dude, one of my favorite fucking scenes, I'll show you in a second. Cannibal.
They're expensive.
Cannibal.
$70.
These are good quality. I mean, like looking at them, there's not those cheap Walmart bullshit like Babyface, Kill Billy,
Butcher, fucking pig mask. That's cool.
That was a cool one. Heavy Metal. Yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time again is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but the original one. Have you ever seen it? The original Texas Chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
It's one I own the fucking thing on DVD, but one of my I don't want to watch that. Favorite scenes. Let's see if I can find the old versions. Well, here's the original trailer. I just like how quiet
what
it is.
What happened was true. The most bizarre and brutal series of crimes in America.
This fucking scene right here, this part where he just slam. Oh wait, it's not that.
Sally, I hear something. Stop! Stop! This is the movie that is just as real.
It's fucking classic. That's the point of it. And what I love about that one, the old one at least, is just that it's so... Like, there's no music to it. Like, if you watch it, it's just like that. Like, it's just a guy filming the camera. Like, there's no music to it to build up the intensity or whatever. It's just fucked up. It's crazy. And I just love how... I don't know, how real it almost feels. Like, if you were there... Obviously, it's not real, but it's really interesting. So that's one of my favorite horror movies. What's yours? Either? Do you have any? I'm obsessed with them.
You do. You're freaking obsessed with
them. You'd
them.
have to.
I love the Halloween movies. I love Michael Myers.
See, I've never seen it.
Jason?
What do you like about it? No, I've seen those, but I've never seen Halloween. Like the white mask, the guy that just playing... You just like it?
I just grew up, obviously, watching all of this stuff because of my brother, and that was always my favorite. I like his mask.
Yeah, it's badass. It just
shows
no
I don't really
emotion.
have a favorite, dude. I just fucking... I mean, I'm not a big...
Do you like scary movies? Would you watch them?
You know...
One of my favorites is The Ring, by far.
Okay.
Back in the day when I watched that as a fucking
so
kid,
gay.
The scariest shit when I was a kid.
The only things I don't fuck with, and you know this, is like possession shit.
What do you mean? Do you believe in possession?
Fuck yes, I do.
Can you tell me why?
Yeah, because it's real.
Well, why? Have you ever seen it? Oh! I'm kidding. No.
No,
so,
possession's...
dude, I work... and here's what I have to say before we go further in it. Okay, what is a possession? When you're saying possession, what do you... Just
it's
so I
when,
know your definition.
An evil...
outside source.
Energy, an evil energy, spirit, whatever, takes over your fucking body.
I can't talk too much about this because of work things. Okay, we'll skip it. I'll tell you later.
Okay,
I'll tell you another day or something.
Yeah,
but no, it's just I've seen a lot of weird things happen to people, and it comes down to medical conditions. I mean, whether it's bipolar mixed with schizophrenia mixed with other things. I've seen just some crazy shit that really explains, oh, okay, so maybe this is where, a possession or the exorcism comes from. If you're like, again, and I've talked about this in the past on podcasts, but just if you're in like the dark ages, right, and you're, castles and all this shit, and one guy in the town all of a sudden starts switching up, starts talking about the devil and starts acting psycho and doing weird shit, you'd instantly say, oh, the devil's in this fuck. Like, the devil's in this guy. But nowadays... Dude, a lot of it comes down to the brain.
It's just like the Emily Rose thing, dude. I mean,
but it's not real. That's what I'm trying to say. There's never been you go on YouTube, there would be proof of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like, dude.
Is there? Or is it a medical condition? That's what I'm trying to say.
No, yeah, it's...
But I've never seen shit fly off the walls and people doing all the talking in different things, and a lot of
dude,
it's
there's
been
one
fake.
on here, dude.
Okay, show me. What do I need to do?
Just type in... I can't remember her actual name. Her name actually isn't really Emily Rose, but it was someone else. What the hell is her name?
I'll just look possession video and let me try not to laugh. I'll try to find a real possession video on YouTube. And I say the same thing about like the Ouija boards and things like that. Like everyone freaking out about stuff like that. They're like, oh, no. But you know what? That shit would be all over YouTube if it was totally true.
Type in real Emily Rose possession or something. Because it's the girl that... It's the girl that's based off, or that movie is made from, is this right there, dude. Annalise
She looks
Mitchell,
like
dude.
a developmentally handicapped person. I'm just gonna.
You can fucking listen to her talk, dude.
Okay. Is it really her? And that's
the following is absolutely true and contains scenes that may be disturbed by or offend you. This is real. This is.
I hope so.
I believe this shit. Oh fuck! I ain't gonna sleep tonight. No, watch it, dude. Watch it. It's
I'm trying to
watch the whole fucking thing. This is real.
Does this one do it? This one just talks about it, dude.
Okay, go. Yeah, okay, go to the.
Oh wait. Yeah, this one just talks about her. Dude, it sounds like schizophrenia mixed with some other stuff. But I'll find.
Right, yeah, right there. Fucking.
Okay, this is in German.
Make it low.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh fuck, dude. Whew. I hate this shit. She was hot.
Make it low.
Eine Sache schien mir nicht.
Im Namen Jesu.
Nein! Ja, der Zeitlauf ohne dich!
Ja, das ist von Liebe.
Ihr könnt gar nicht.
Sounds constipated, dude.
Dude, this is fucking real. Listen, it gets bad. I
Siehst du das aus, die Verflucht? Das ist unserbaus grausam ist. Grausam! Siehst du das aus, die Verfluchten?
My problem with it is there's definitely been audio tampering with this. You can tell it's been split because it comes through high quality and all of a sudden really shitty, then high quality. They're all smashing it together.
That's freaky as shit.
But this person you're looking at looks like a developmentally handicapped person.
Well, yeah, dude.
And I've listened
and
heard people do this.
She got a demon in her, dude. I mean,
it can also be.
I don't like that shit.
Of course not, because I don't know. But I've watched all those exorcism movies and certain things, and I know my friend Jeff can attest to this. We've seen quote unquote what someone would call an exorcism, or should be, and it was all in the head, and it was due to pills being wrong, and then they put him back on a certain medication. Fine. And we laugh about it still today. But it's just because of certain things. Now, I'm not saying that every single person in the world is like that. And again, I wasn't there for this, ladies. And neither were you. And that's where we have to come into play is from the evidence that you've seen, you feel it's real, and that's fine.
We need to get our good old buddy Mitch the Witch over here and see
the Witch.
See what he has to say about exorcisms.
And you talked to him about it. I think on the first podcast we ever had him on, his girlfriend was going through an exorcism or something in the middle of the night, was doing something. So and I don't know. And again, every situation's different. For this one, agree to disagree. We'll leave it. We'll leave it there. But I watched that movie, and again, it comes down to a movie. Now, here's my only issue with this. Look how old this photo is and things like that. Like, why nowadays that we have the internet and everyone has a video camera, there should be more of these types of videos. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's necessarily always true, or the Ouija board is so bad and so many crazy things that happen and fly off, why aren't there more videos being posted or shown that it is real? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's that, and so I don't know. That's where I come down to having always a hard time with these type of things. I just have to look at it logically until something proves or shows me different. And I've had to change my stance a little bit on ghosts or the paranormal. And tomorrow, by the way, if you're listening to this podcast, we have, and we'll talk about it too, and Bryce hopefully will be here, but we have a lady, she's doing a ghost bus tours, and hopefully we'll get on it to go. But she's going around Lehigh and Utah County to haunted spots and locations for this Halloween, and it's fun. So you get to hop on the bus, and you go to like Porter's Place, and you go to all these cool locations, and she tells you the stories and things, the hauntings, or
she'll be on the show tomorrow.
History tomorrow. She will be here on the show 7:00. It's going to be fun, hopefully. So I've never met the lady. It'll be really interesting, and hopefully she has some cool stories, and then we can have enough content to talk about. But yeah, so she's running a thing locally. It's called Ghost Bus Tours. She's so good with that, Ghostbusters.
And where'd you meet her?
Or where? I just met her on Instagram, dude. I think my mom is friends with her, so hopefully she doesn't listen to any of my other podcasts. But it's okay, because it should be interesting, dude. I don't know. We'll find out. And these are things that you can talk about and discuss with her. I mean, maybe she has experiences and stuff with it. But I always have to sometimes, I got to believe it to see it sometimes for myself. And that's just, it's just my defense. But I am open to the possibility. I'm never going to be fully closed to it, I guess. It just depends. All of them are different. But like the movie, it's very Hollywood. We'll just say that. Yeah. But it is scary. It's cool. So I remember being a kid and watching that shit.
I just
it's
can't
crazy.
do that shit, dude. I mean, even
so that's the one thing that really scares the shit out of you.
I don't fuck with. I will not watch. Well, you remember, dude, when you said, "Hey, let's go to this movie." It's supposed to be really good.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really good, and I'm like, okay, I'll go. And then and then we're sitting in the theater, and it's like coming up. It's starting.
Oculus.
Yeah, and it's starting, and I'm like, Christian, what the fuck kind of movie is this?
Oh yeah, I didn't tell you.
And you're like, it's Possession. I'm like, motherfucker, dude. You know I don't play with that shit. Yeah. Like,
I remember.
I actually went to a Possession movie. I can't remember what it was called. I think it was The Possession. And I went with Jake Allred. I actually got it in the middle of the theater and fucking left. I was like, I'm bouncing, dude. I'm like,
just because it scares you.
I don't. Because I feel that shit is really real, dude, and I do not like it, and I don't like... I can do murder shit, serial killer shit, but like I'm like a very spiritual person and stuff, and I don't fuck with like
the unknown.
Evil shit. I don't like it. I don't. No. Mm-mm.
All right, that's fine. What I don't like, the only movies, and I just watched this movie last night. It's called A Walk Among the Tombstones, or A Walk Through the Tombstones. It's got that Liam Neeson. It's bad fucking ass. But the only things that I hate to actually visually watch is the abuse of women. Like, does that make sense? Like, I can watch anything and everything, but these guys... So two of they're serial killers, these guys, and Liam Neeson in this movie is a ex-police, now he's a private investigator, and he does favors for certain people high up, and he'll go out and murder or find people and do things under the table, undercover, because he's good at it. And then anyways, this drug dealer's wife goes missing, and he hits up Liam Neeson, and he starts finding, or whatever, these guys, but these two guys were into violent pornography, all these crazy snuff films and fucking some of the craziest shit. And so they decided to start making their own, and they would kidnap women, throw them in the back of a van, and then start raping them and abusing them, and then murdered them and chopped them into pieces and threw them in bags type stuff. The movies, it's an intense movie. It's a great movie, but those are the only things that I have a hard time ever actually watching, because I feel the pain and I can see it, and you know you can't do anything about it, and you know it's that fucked up. Like, that's pushing the limits right there with animal cruelty. There's another movie, it's called, is it Prisoners? Prisoners, yeah, with Jake Gyllenhaal, where those kids go missing and get kidnapped and stuff.
I've never seen it.
Dude, it's way fucking good.
You're a movie junkie, dude.
I'm obsessed with movies. That's all I ever... See, that's what we need to do, is a podcast about movies. That's our next one. We'll talk about them, dude, because I fucking talk movies all day. But what's your favorite movie of all time, then? While we're on the topic for a second. Of all time. Well, or name 2 or 3, because it's hard to name.
Okay. Don't Judge Me.
What's that?
I'm saying Don't Judge Me, because what I'm going to tell you.
I've never heard it. Napoleon Dynamite.
No, the fucking Narnia, dude.
Chronicles of Narnia? Yeah. Like the first time, for real?
I love that movie.
Bryce Jenkins, Chronicles of Narnia. All right. It is badass. That's the first book I ever read.
Carly's just looking at me like, well, what the fuck?
I know. That's the first book I ever read. And so I liked it because watching the movie actually made sense to me, because I read the book for once.
She actually asked me what my favorite... She asked me what my favorite movie was the other night, and I couldn't even remember. But yeah, it's fucking Chronicles of Narnia. I like that.
What are some other ones?
Did I tell you any other ones the other night? No?
You didn't really tell me.
I don't know, dude. I like them all. No, not really.
You like them all,
dude. Honestly, I'm not a
big
big
Night Stalker is Shayton's favorite. Some of my other fucking favorite ones. Texas Chainsaw.
I like documentaries, dude. I love documentaries.
Me too.
Love documentaries.
Seriously? So what are some of your favorites?
I like the shit. I just like documentaries, like fucking murder documentaries. Fucking.
I love, dude. Like that's all I watch.
Like
Shayton can say that.
Alien documentaries, shit like that. Like dude, like about extraterrestrial shit, like about
ancient aliens, things like that.
You know how Machu Picchu was built, dude. Like stuff like that. Like how in the hell was that built, dude?
You're right.
Stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I watch. You know, like movies with actors and stuff. Yeah, I like them. I go to movies and stuff. But I find a lot more interest in like documentaries, like real life shit.
I'm obsessed with Nazis. Is that weird? Like, I'm not, like, no way do I want to be a Nazi or whatever, but World War II, I have this fascination with World War II. I don't know why. I've always been obsessed with the Holocaust. I know this is so fucked up. It's like, I just think, like, I've been to the Holocaust Museum in D.C., and I've seen, like, one of my favorite movies of all fucking time is Schindler's List.
Really?
Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No,
Nothing speaks more, it's real.
When I started, I've been at my job for like 3 years, and when I started, this lady named Shelly, she would not talk to me, and I had no idea why.
What?
But when I started, obviously everybody knows me. I have my whole fucking neck tattooed.
Yeah.
And when I started there,
she thought you were.
When I started there, all I had was because I have a big phoenix on my throat.
Yeah.
And all I had was the phoenix. That's
Yeah.
it. I just had this big blue phoenix on my throat, and my hair was really short.
Yeah.
She wouldn't talk to me, so one day he's like, "Dude, I found out why Shelly won't talk to you." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "She thinks you're a Nazi." She thought I was a fucking Nazi because of my bird and shit on my neck.
Yeah, it's the.
And I was like, well, you could probably see where she's coming from. And then I was sitting next to her one day. She's sitting on her computer, and I look over at her, and she hasn't said a word to me. I've been here for like 6 months, not a word to me. I look over at her and said, "Hey, Shelly," and she's like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm not a Nazi." And she just fucking looked at me, and then she's cool with me ever since then.
That's hilarious.
She's like, "Oh, I wasn't sure." I was like, "I'm not a fucking Nazi." Like, come on,
a skinhead.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know why. I've just always had this weird obsession with it. And if we're talking serial killers, fucking Adolf Hitler is right up there next to Stalin. Stalin killed more than Hitler, which is crazy. But Hitler, the weird thing behind Hitler is, again, it comes into power, I think. It comes back into he has so much control. And he was a brilliant man. I mean, I don't know if you've ever read Mein Kampf or My Struggle, but his book is he's brilliant. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And he convinced all of Germany to get on board. I mean, and start executing 6 million Jews. I mean, like, it's insane that someone can do that.
And all those single people out there that just to think that Hitler actually had a fucking girlfriend.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, people think he was gay.
Really?
Yeah, undercover, yeah. That he was. But the crazy thing is, they don't have any proof, physical proof, that Adolf Hitler's dead. They had a skull, so like the Russians started coming in, and everyone says that he committed suicide and stuff. But they've taken the blood samples off of the couch that his blood was on, supposedly, and because they took the body and then went out and burned it, and the skull that was actually burned, the pictures and the fragments. Because I watched this National Geographic thing on it, dude. It's a fucking female skull. It's not even his skull. Like, he could still be alive to this day. And a lot of people believe he went down to South America. So anyways, crazy shit.
Wait, how could he could still be alive to this day?
I don't know if
I think he'd probably be fucking tits up.
He probably is dead now, but they don't know technically. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they don't have any proof that he was that was his body.
Right,
that was the teeth, all that stuff was all shown as female because they killed him. He died or whatever. Because and they also took cyanide pills and stuff. They broke the glass, swallowed it, and it killed him. Supposedly, this is the story. And there's only one Nazi that's still alive to the day, and he says that he never physically ever saw Adolf Hitler's body leave that room. Because there's the bunker room that they all were in, and then anyways, crazy story, but no proof. So it's interesting. But a man like that actually was very brilliant. He was a great public speaker. I'm not talking and defending Adolf Hitler by any means. I think he's a fucking asshole. But if you're looking at a brilliant man, I mean, the man convinced X amount of people. He almost conquered the whole world. He took over so many things and so many people, and then finally the demise of him ended up fucking him. So, anyways, but if you want to talk about weird or haunted type places, I guarantee going to like Auschwitz would be. Yeah. My friend Wesley's been there and stuff, but I that's on my bucket list. I know it's so weird.
Does Wesley even fucking live in the United States anymore?
He goes back and forth. From what I know, he's dating some girl in Europe or somewhere. I don't know. I haven't really talked to him.
I always see his Facebook, and he's like walking the streets, fucking Europe and stuff.
So I don't know what's going on with
bearded little man.
But I want to go to Auschwitz. And there's other so I love haunted houses. Do you like haunted houses?
I love them.
That's my number one thing. Halloween's my favorite.
She loves
holiday.
fucking haunted houses and cemeteries.
I am obsessed with cemeteries.
As in, like, why? What?
I think they're beautiful, and the way I was raised. We used to live across the street from a cemetery, and we would go play in the cemetery.
Really?
They would freaking play hide and seek in freaking coffins, man.
Like
in my grandpa's mortuary, he had a room full of coffins, and we would play hide and seek as kids until someone got locked in one, and then we got in trouble.
How do they get locked in?
How does shut them in, and you have to have this certain thing to open it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Fuck that.
I guess they don't want zombies coming out.
So you've actually laid in a coffin and know what it feels like. How's it feel? Is it comfortable?
Yeah, it's just like a bed.
I've always laughed about that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, your loved one needs to be cut. Oh, fuck it, you're throwing them into the dirt. Like, I think it's so funny that, the upsells and these things. Like, and again, burn my fucking ashes. I mean, if you want to have a viewing for me, have at it. But I don't
really know, dude, like, what I want to do. Like, my mom wanted to be cremated. Like, bad. And I was like, I mean, she's fucking probably turning in her grave because...
She's not?
No, fuck no, I don't want to cremate her, dude. Like, I don't know, I just didn't want to. And, like, I don't know, like, fuck, I don't know what I want.
There's a lot of cool ways around cremation. You can cremate you, and there's a wood thing that you can put yourself and put seeds in there, and then you become a tree.
I think when I die, I want to be cremated, and everybody that knows me really well knows I love bow hunting. We have these things that when you're stalking a deer, an elk, or something, you squeeze it, and it's a little bottle of powder, and it tells you which way the wind's blowing. Because if the wind's blowing towards the deer,
sure, then
obviously they're going to smell you.
Yeah.
So how about I get cremated and I get put in the fucking...
So Shayton brought a reference up from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If anyone's ever watched it, Frank always says, when I die, just throw me in the fucking trash. Because he doesn't. Dude, I love Frank. Shayton, you're making me laugh so hard.
So put me in a fucking bottle, a wind checker, dude, and give it to all my buddies, dude, and they can check the wind with my fucking ashes.
That would be cool. See, that's cool.
How fucking neat would that be?
What I want to do is I want to, in order for, like, some of my closest friends, obviously, before I die, I'm going to put them in my will. And if they want a piece of it, obviously my family's going to get money. But a piece of it will go towards my friends of the will, and they have to drop my ashes at some of our favorite spots that we hung out or did something together, or a cool location that they have to hike to in order to get and receive the money from my will or whatever. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just to fuck with people and then get them some. I just make them do stupid shit.
Toss me in the Jordan River.
Yeah, burn the duster, as Shayton would say. Toss me in the Jordan River. See, that would be funny.
Fucking blow me down I-80.
Really, what my wife wants to do, she wants to have her body donated towards science, and I think I might end up doing the same.
No.
Why?
No.
Let people do autopsies, and all the kids get to learn and do that stuff. I mean, those bodies at UVU, so my wife is obsessed with anatomy. She went and did anatomy, and ever since then, playing with the bodies and the certain things that you have to do to learn about your anatomy, she's obsessed with it, and she's always wanted her body donated towards science.
Nope.
And I think why? What the fuck do you care, Bryce? You're dead. I mean, at that point, what do you care?
Okay, but say
it's not your flesh and skin. You're just the bone part and the muscle part. Have you ever seen bodies? Exhibit.
But then in order for you to just be your muscle and stuff, you got to get fucking skinned, man. And like,
are you gonna feel it, Bryce? Are you
gonna? No. I'm looking at it as from a different standpoint. Like, say you die tomorrow and you decide to donate your body to science. Your parents know that, okay, I don't know where my son's getting fucking cut up right now.
You have your burial first. I mean, you do all that. You'll have your little goodbye, see you, Christian, and then my body's donated towards the university. So, and those bodies are years old. I mean, a lot of them stay forever, like a long time, because they just keep them preserved, embalmed, and you keep them in freezers.
I don't know. I don't think that's cool. Well, it's just the same as people don't. You might not understand it because there's people that don't think that. oh, I ain't gonna have my fucking organs donated. Fuck that, dude. I'm donating everything, man. Like, if
someone
needs my fucking eyeballs, fucking take my eyeballs. You know.
Well, and that's the thing is it's somewhat similar, but you're donating it towards education. What Shane say? I'm embodying standing up with my arms wide open so I can give people one last hug. That is a fucking good one. That would be creepy. Have you ever remember the Jackass skit where Johnny Knoxville goes in with his grandma to a taxidermy?
Yeah, I want to get fucking mounted.
And he was like being dead serious, like, well, it's probably gonna cost like $6,000 or something. And like he was being serious, like, no, are you a fucking idiot? Like I think it's weird when people get their dogs taxidermy, kind of. Like I mean. It's cool and all. You like love the dog, but it's like just weird. That
I don't know, dude. Just toss me in a fucking casket, bury me with my bow, and I'm good to go.
You're good to go. Okay, well that's what Bryce wants. I'll remember that. Yeah, I don't care. What do you want? You said you cremation, right? Yeah. See, I don't care. Either cremate me or donate my body to science if anyone wants it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Fuck, do whatever you want with me.
See, now he's on.
I'll leave it up to my kid. Whatever.
Yeah.
Do what you want with me, son.
Taj might just throw you in the Jordan River.
Yeah, just don't mount me. Yeah. I don't want to be fucking about it.
That would be hilarious. Wonder if you could do such a thing. I think it'd be cool to like. Have you ever seen the Catacombs in Paris? What's that movie? As Above, So Below. Have you seen that movie? Mm-mm. What?
No.
Neither of you?
No.
The new one that just came out, like in Paris, like there's the mass graves and stuff under the streets.
Up on my shit, dude.
Yeah, dude. There's mass graves under the... Me and Shayton watched this documentary on it as well, but there's mass graves in fucking Paris, dude, and there's bones everywhere. It's called the Paris Catacombs. Let me see. Catacombs, yeah. And look at it. Like, these are legit pictures of it.
What the that's like... Oh, shit.
Because the bodies were stinking so bad, the city decided to make giant tunnels down there. And they had... Anyways, all these bones and stuff. And there's some cool designs and stuff, and you can go and visit it. Like you can take tours, and these are human skulls. These are real people.
That's
and it's
cool.
It's interesting. But yeah, there's real catacombs you can go down and do, and you can enter from the streets, and it's an interesting place. Like that's a love. That's hard with skulls. But anyways, no, it's really really interesting. There's just cool artwork and all kinds of interesting stuff.
Dead shit.
And people get lost down there. Like it's fucking huge. And miles deep, like 7 miles deep.
Really?
Yeah, it's like 7 miles of stuff, and you can get really lost and whatnot. And yeah, you have to like crawl on the bone sometimes in some of the places.
Fuck?
It's crazy, huh? Yeah, so the movie, it's called As Above, So Below. It's fucking intense. And the entrance to, what's it called? The combs and stuff is like the quote from the Bible about from hell. What's it called? I don't even know. Pretty much just saying you're now entering the gates of hell. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, it's cool. It's really interesting. Great movie too, by the way. It was actually pretty decent.
Netflix?
Scary. Nope, just barely came out. It's in the theaters. It's called As Above, So Below. Here, I'll play a trailer because apparently nobody else knows about this. I swear me and Shayton saw this.
So is it like a documentary type thing?
No. It's like what's a good way to put the movie? Kind of. It's shot like a documentary.
Okay.
But it's an actual horror movie or whatever. But there are documentaries of it. So here's a trailer for everybody.
My name is Scarlett Marlowe, and I'm a student in urban archaeology.
370 feet beneath this point is a hidden chamber
that might contain a critical missing piece of our history.
How are we supposed to get down there?
Catacombs.
There are 200 miles of tunnels right underneath our feet.
They're holding the remains of 6 million corpses.
Stop. This is the Empire of the Dead.
These are human bones. We go through here?
Let's do it.
Keep it slow and steady, yeah?
I think I'm stuck.
Just breathe with me, please. It's okay.
What was that? I think I am. What the hell do we do now, huh?
We can't go back. We should just keep moving. Tell me we didn't just go in a circle.
It's exactly the same.
No, everything's upside down.
What happened to the entrance?
Wait, there's something here.
Oh my god.
What the hell is this?
When I was a kid, we had a piano that looked exactly like this. I used to play it all the time. The A4 key was messed up. What's going on? Can you read that?
According to mythology, that's the inscription over the gates of hell. And they shall be made to crawl on their bellies to enter the kingdom of darkness.
Did you hear that? Is somebody there? What's happening to us?
Dad?
It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault!
It's fucking good, guys. I'll give it a 5 out of 5. It was really
that just looks fucking
decent.
gay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait till you see.
No, it looks like it starts out scary, but then it just looks like it's just fucking stupid.
No, it ends fucking. It's a wild trip. The entire time it's a trip because it's all like half of it's in your mind and you don't know what the fuck. Like it is. I don't know. I'll leave it at that. It's worth a watch. I'm serious. It's really good. Yeah, abandon all you. Oh, so that's the inscription over hell, supposedly by mythologies. Abandon all hope, ye who enter.
Huh.
But
I don't know. Maybe
that's
I'll watch
also,
it. That's cool.
Yeah, watch it. Have you seen it? You haven't seen it. You need to watch it too, though. Anyways, anything else you guys want to talk about? Let me guess. You guys did not bring swimsuits. I'm gonna go off the top of my. Yeah, I knew it. I fucking knew
Oh yeah,
it.
you wanted a hot tub. Huh?
Yeah. God damn it, Shayton. Let's go hot tub. Any other serial killers that's really crazy? I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer is crazy. BTK killer. That's another guy to look up.
Who's the BTK killer?
I can't remember. Fuck. Dude, let's see. BTK killer. I want to remember what it stands for. BTK killer. Let's see. BTK
stands
killer.
for bind, torture, kill.
Yep. So I guess that was his expertise and that was his thing. And that's the thing. Like if you look through all of these guys, they all had their own little
signature.
Yeah, kind of or something that made them really, really different. Because at some point, these guys have to realize like this is going to be historical. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when after you start killing like 5 or 6. Like do you guys know who the Washington D.C. snipers are?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about that? So I remember being alive, obviously, and watching it on TV and stuff, and just the crazy shit. There was like people were just getting shot out of nowhere from a fucking sniper. It was just a father and a son, just hiding out in the car.
Kill people, boy.
Yeah, in the fucking van or the white car. O.J. Simpson. No, he just got one, but he didn't do it, supposedly.
Yeah, he did. Do you want to know how O.J. Simpson beat that murder case?
The glove. Kim Kardashian's dad.
No.
Was the lawyer.
Yeah, I know, but...
Who? What?
He beat it with...
the glove didn't fit.
No, the term, I don't recall.
Well...
Anytime they'd ask him something, I don't recall.
That's how you have to put it. If you're not saying yes and you're not saying no, you just... I can't
Did you
remember.
kill her? I don't recall. So every time I do something at work, did you do this? I don't recall.
I don't recall.
I do not recall, sir.
If the glove didn't fit. No. Yeah, that's a crazy one, too. I don't know enough about that. I just remember seeing him drive that white Bronco on the fucking freeway and a million cops were chasing him. White Bronco. I had no idea who he was. I didn't know he played fucking football.
My buddy Gentry's got the best on his Instagram.
Yeah.
His username is OJ Kills Drink Apple Juice.
OJ what?
OJ Kills Drink Apple Juice.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good shit.
OJ.
It used to be Tits and Jack Daniels, but he changed it to OJ Kills Drink Apple Juice.
Jack Daniels. Do you drink at all? You're not a drinker?
Mm-mm.
I salute you, I guess.
I don't know. Are you a drinker, Christian?
Yeah. But I don't drink that often. That's the thing. Like, I seriously haven't had a drink since a beer at Drake, I think. But it was one. No, I don't drink that often. I enjoy drinking. But there are some people who can't handle their shit. No, I'm kidding. But when Bryce would go ham, he'd go ham. But no, I just...
I've been... the few times I have been drunk, I've been drunk.
But I'd say, like, leading up to that position, you were maybe sad or trying to get over something. Does that make sense? Like, not necessarily. Maybe it was a girl, or maybe it was just issues or something. But I don't know. And also, if you don't have experience with it necessarily, you don't know how much your body can take sometimes. Like, you remember you thought you woke up in a fucking gas station or something? You're like, how the hell did I get here? Or
that movie Hostel, where they wake up in the fucking thing, and they're tied to a chair, and they're cutting their Achilles tendon and shit. When I was laying on your bathroom floor, I woke up at like 3 in the morning. I had no fucking clue where I was at. No idea, dude.
That's a good one, too, that you brought up. Hostel 2. Or 3. 2. It's either 2 or 3. One, it's an interesting thought, all of them. Hostel, first off, is a scary fucking movie. Because it's so realistic feeling. Like, that shit could go down in Russia. If you're just in Russia all of a sudden and that shit. But there's one that's in Las Vegas. I want to say it's Hostel 3 or 2. I don't know. But it's in, like, Las Vegas where privileged people pay to see how many crossbows it takes for a guy to get in the chest or something before he dies. And so they gamble on it. They gamble on... Shit, huh? Oh, so maybe it's 6. Yeah. I want to say it is fucking Hostel 2. Yeah, it's crazy. That movie is... It's pretty fucking wild. Maybe it is Hostel 2. No, it looks like it's Hostel 3. I don't know. Either way, check it out. It's a crazy movie, too. What are some of your other favorite horror movies?
I like a lot.
Who's your favorite serial killer?
My favorite serial killer?
Yeah.
Probably Ed.
Ed? Second? Do you have a second?
No, not really.
Do you find Ted Bundy in any way, shape, or form very sexual?
Very sexual.
Yes. Yeah, I don't, fucking A. That's all I really have to say, man. It's a crazy thought. I would like to interview. There's actually a really interesting, but it's in subtitles, and I don't want to have to reread it. But there's an interesting one on Vice about. Have you ever watched Vice? Do you ever watch Vice? Those documentaries and stuff. Yeah. They have some crazy shit. But there's a really interesting one where it's called An Interview with an Assassin. And they just talk to a guy that kills political people. I believe it's in the Philippines or somewhere over there. But they just talk to this guy, and he agrees for X amount of money that he enters the car. Like, they're just sitting there in the car. He gets in the car. He has a motorcycle helmet on, and he answers their questions, and then he gets out of the car. It's like a 3-minute interview.
Really?
But it's a trippy fucking interview. And it's all subtitles. So otherwise I'd play it for you, but I don't want to have to reread it. So look it up on YouTube, Vice, and then just look up An Interview with an Assassin. It's trippy. Watch it.
I'll have to do that.
But, yeah, there's some fucking really crazy experiences and people and what they do, and I don't know. But getting on with that, you like haunted houses, you said. What's one of your favorite haunted houses here locally in Utah? We have some other listeners who are from Utah, so that's when I bring it up.
What one were you telling me that we need to go to?
I like the Fear Factor.
Yeah, that one.
It's newer.
Yeah, I've been...
It's really cool.
I went the first year and was very understaffed because it opened so late into the season because of all those issues. Yeah, so we went... And it was what I love about it is it's really well done. It's really I like the building, I like the place, and I like that they just put a lot of money into it. And it looks really Disneyland-ish. Like it has a lot of cool effects to it that I like. And also there's like slides and there's crazy shit you have to do. I really like Fear Factory. The Haunted Forest I've always enjoyed.
The Haunted Forest,
and now it mixed up.
Last year was fun, dude. Yeah, when me and you went and we did the fucking
zombie one's classic.
Yeah. And you get to shoot the zombies with the fucking paintball guns.
Yep,
that's
it's called Zombie.
Yeah,
it is funny.
Yeah, they load you on an army truck.
Yeah.
and they drive you out through cornfields. And there's old houses and stuff. These zombies come running out of the houses.
Porta potties.
And, dude, I was shooting the dicks off those dudes last year. And when you shoot them, your things glow. Your paintballs glow.
Mm-hmm. So you can see where it goes.
So I would shoot. And I'd be getting closer to dick, and when I'd shoot him in the dick, I just
you can hear him
just double tapping the trigger, just hitting him in the dick, and then Christian and I, we were the last people to get off the truck, and all the zombies are getting out of their clothes and stuff, and oh man, you hear him, I got shot in the dick 40 times, man. Oh, some dude shot me right in the forehead, it was fun.
Plow him, man.
It was fun. So if anybody hasn't done that, you need to go do that.
It's worth the money. It is hilarious. And now they have a new location. The Haunted Forest it's at the same place where we went last time.
Oh, is it?
So it's there. It's just deep within that forest by the lake over by the boat harbor.
Your dog is fucking my leg.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
Proud of you, boy. Yeah, he does the whole hug thing, and then sometimes he'll sneak a hump or two.
And he's biting me, kinky.
I think this is pretty much it. I really don't know what else to talk about. I mean, serial killers.
We're about fucking murdered out.
We need to get a doctor on, or a psychologist who's ever had to deal with or talk to someone. You know, and here's the murderers are on so many different levels. Like there's serial killers, and that's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
And then someone who's just committed a murder. I'm not gonna say. I'll tell you later. So, anyways, I'm signing off. Pretty much. This is it. I've had it with serial killers. Good night, guys. Later. Do you have anything to say? I'll follow you on Instagram. Bryce, follow him. It's at Behind the String.
Behind the String.
Do you have an Instagram you want to throw out?
Carly
Genie. Follow her. And then just Walking Among Apes. Check us out. Tomorrow, guys, we will have a guest on. I really hope the podcast runs well. I've never met this lady. I don't know much about her. I don't know how much we can talk or how much we're going to butt heads on certain situations, but it'll be an interesting podcast nonetheless. So come tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It should be an interesting little cast with I don't even have her name. I just know her through some emails and stuff. So hopefully this will go good. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. A big hug, a big kiss. Shayton. Guys, okay, here's something I'm going to do. I'm going to go on a little rant. I try to fucking get everyone to watch this show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Everyone. I don't know if I've ever gotten Bryce into it or anyone. Every time someone comes over to my house, do you watch it? Have you ever watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Oh my God. Okay, you guys make me really sad. Like, it's one of my favorite fucking shows. It's not for everyone, I'll say that, but it's one of the fucking funniest shows. And me and Shayton enjoy it. And it can only appeal to certain people. So anyways, Bryce has a phone call. We're going to hurry and sign off.
I'm
you
good? I'm good.
Okay. Well, anyways, either way, we're off. You guys need to watch It's Always Sunny. It's on Netflix. It's on Amazon Prime. You have to fucking check it out. And maybe check out like the third season and stuff. Because a lot of people can't get in the first season because it's a little older and shot older. But start on like the third or fourth season when Danny DeVito comes in as Frank. And it's the best. Because I can't even do the quotes. Shayton, I need to get you on my podcast, dude. And we'll just talk about It's Always Sunny fucking every day. Oh, my God. Anyways, the gruesome twosome. Yeah. All right. Anyways,
bye.
We're signing off. Good night.
See ya, bye.
Goodbye.
When I die, fuck it, I wanna go to hell. Cause I'm a piece of shit, it ain't hard to fucking tell. It don't make sense going to heaven with the goodies dressed in white. I like black Timbs and black hoodies. Gotta probably have me on some real strict shit. No sleeping all day, no getting my dick licked. Hanging with